1, 2, ja, ja. Oh, thanks. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, yeah. Thanks for joining, guys. Yeah, it should have switched over automatically. I've set up the Premiere in such a way that it should have switched automatically. Let's see, do I have audio? This was the first time for me to doing this like so. Hi Keener, hi Hot, hi Big Nasty. Everything looks to be okay, I think. Hi Owen. Not off to Tesco's yet. Yeah, I'm ready, Keener. We're all ready for Christmas, so I thought, why not end everything with just a quick little chat video, chat live stream straight after the premiere. I saw there was an option to redirect a premiere to a live stream. I said, well, let's set it up and hopefully I can make the switch quick enough from chatting with you guys, watching the video to a live stream. So everything went well. I missed just the last couple of minutes of the video, but I've seen it enough. Not at all, I'm afraid, Owen. Maybe if my wife is looking, but no tools this year for Santa Claus. Santa Claus is already back in Spain, so now it's waiting for his cousin. Oh yeah, some nice wood would also be great for Christmas. Yeah, I don't think that's the downside. A bit of a downside when you have a business. Then I try to separate my private things like birthdays, Santa Claus and such from the business. So when I'm going to ask tools for any holidays or something, it's part of the business and I get my tools for the business cheaper than when I get them for as a present. So usually I try to keep those separate these days. Yeah, thanks Retro. Yeah, I've done this especially. Oh, I forgot one light. I've done this especially for the live stream, guys. And that's something I did design into the workshop to also be able to have a cozy setup. Clamps is always a good present. Merry Christmas to you too, Woody. Nice of you to join. I wish this was a audio conversation both ways. Let me know, guys, if the audio is too loud. I'm doing some tweaks with my audio setup. So let me know if everything is all right. Audio is always one of those things you can't really control when live streaming. You have no idea on how it comes across on the other end. If you're clipping, I have some VU meters, but they're all in the green and they're not really reliable. So I wish, if anyone knows, please let me know. Is there any reliable way of monitoring your own sound while live streaming instead of having headphones? And then I think headphones are always different than what I'm broadcasting to YouTube or in a live stream. So if anyone knows a good method of monitoring the sound when you're recording yourself, yeah, please let me know. Yeah, Merry Christmas, hot. I think we spoke already. I'm sorry guys, I'm a bit... It's been a while since I live streamed. And in this live stream, guys, I'm totally depending on your questions, your comments, things you want to ask me, want to share. I have no work planned for tonight, so I'm here for you guys. Thanks, Bram. Thanks. Yeah, nice Christmas vibe. Wow, Owen.
Entropy of Guitars, Owen Kelly, just sent a super chat and said, just a small something for the awesome Phoenix Rising video series. And hopefully it turns into a Christmas drink to celebrate.
Oh, I will. I will definitely do that, Owen. Thank you very, very, very much. Yeah, it's highly appreciated. And yeah, I said this, all the tips, all the super chats go straight back into making videos and making videos possible for you guys. And I already have a next project planned for which I'm very, very excited. And hopefully I can start that new guitar build very, very soon. So yeah, thank you again, Owen. I will have a small dram on your health and the rest goes straight back into the channel. Thank you very much. Oh, thanks, Red Fury. Thank you very much for the compliment. Glad to hear you like it. Oh, I'm... Oh, man. Thank you. Papa, Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. I realized I missed you in chat in the video premiere, but yeah, thank you and Merry Christmas to you as well. And of course, all a Happy New Year. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream next week to do a New Year stream as well. So I think this will be the end of the year stream for me. Maybe I'll take a couple of days of vacation. And I don't know if you've seen my Instagram post. I think I posted it yesterday. For anyone who's able to, I'll be attending the Guitar Summit in Mannheim, Germany, coming September. So it's almost a year from now, but the registration is already open. And I registered as an exhibitor for the Guitar Summit. Oh, thank you very much, Hot. Thank you very much for your generous super chat. And yeah, like with Owens, I'll make sure to have a little sip on your health, and I'll make sure all the donations go back into the channel. So thank you very, very much. Yeah, you just have to see, Keener, for what I have in mind. Thank you very much, David. Thank you. I will. I'm not going to play the Phoenix too much because I want to keep it nice and pristine as much as possible with that finish. You see everything on that finish. It's a bit of a downside of that very high gloss finish. You see every little fingerprint, everywhere you touch the guitar. It's visible. So I have it all nice and clean from when I took photos. And now it's nice and clean hanging on the wall, waiting to or someone to enjoy it for me, or to be exhibited, like I said, in various guitar shows coming year. I'll be attending a lot of shows this year. Have you decided the format you're going to do the next build in? No, I'm not sure yet, but I think it will be less explaining and a bit more of me building, maybe do voiceovers, because the video most of you just watched of the Phoenix, the compilation, there was hardly any footage of me not talking over the footage while I was working on things. It was really a struggle to find suitable footage I could use in a compilation without me yapping all the time. So I think it might be a less explaining video, so more of me showing. And I also need a new video showing the Unquendor brand, showing the company and what I do here for my website. We're also working on a new website, and I think I might combine those projects. So making a video and footage that's also usable on my website for different media outlets. And I also intend to invite a photographer to take pictures of me working on guitars. I have a lot of hours and hours of videos, but almost no pictures of me working on a guitar. So that's something I'm going to combine. So expect a more building video with most likely a voiceover, but I'm working on it. Hi, Mr. Martin. Yeah, Merry festivities to you too. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year and all that good stuff. I'm also curious, guys, what you have planned for the coming weeks for the festival season. What, of course, the Christmas day or days, like here in the Netherlands, with friends, family, New Year's maybe. It's a big thing here in the Netherlands. Oh well, come and say hi, Christian, if you're from Mannheim. Come and say hi if you have tickets. And come look me up. I don't know which booth number, I don't know anything. I just know I made the reservation. I paid all my dues. I had a lot of trouble getting a hotel. All the hotels are already booked, or at least the hotels close to the venue are already booked. So if you're from abroad and you want to visit the summit, make sure you have your hotels booked in time. It's getting better and better as the build went on. Yeah, Ross, it took a lot of finesse getting the top the way it is right now, and that's two parts. Of course, I had to get used to the nitrolac stains, and also the top is alder. It isn't maple, and flamed maple and alder take stain very differently. Maple tends to go and shine and be very bright and seems to light up more than the alder did. So it was a bit tricky to get it perfect, but I knew as soon as the finish would go on that it would really start to shine, and I think it turned out just perfect. Ross, there are two options for the next build. One might be another Pantera, because I was contacted if I could make another Pantera in a commission, but I haven't heard from that potential client ever since. So that's one. If he comes back to me and he wants me to build a custom Pantera, I will build a Pantera. And I would really love to make another Nessa model. The first guitar model I fully developed, the Nessa. I only have one in stock now, the black Nessa, charcoal black. And I really want to do a bare wood Nessa, so a most likely flamed black Limba body and a very nice top. And don't stain it, just leave it wood, so a natural Nessa. And then with most likely a matte finish, either an oil, hard wax oil like I did on most of my guitars, or maybe a lacquer finish, but this time a matte finish, just to give it a durable finish. So one of those two. I have everything prepared to build a Nessa, so I have all the hardware and everything I need for that Nessa, but we might change it up for a Pantera. I'm not sure yet. I have to see the coming days if I hear back from that potential customer, and if not, I'll start building a Nessa. Yeah, Keener. Yeah, it was a bit of a shame that we lost the flamed maple top, but I think the alder is perfect. And if you look at it, the imperfection that alder has, when you look at a close-up of the top, it looks like embers flying off. There's pieces of black, pieces of yellow, stripes that go everywhere, and they're a bit like embers going through the flame. So it really turned out great. Yeah, Ross, how many projects do I have on the go at the same time? Usually only one. I only build one guitar at a time, maybe two if they're the same guitars. I build two Sonia models side by side, once to two sister guitars. But that's about all my workshop and my mind can handle. I don't like switching in between jobs, and I don't like switching in between guitar builds as well. I really like to focus on one guitar build at a time, so I can make sure it's the best it can be and it deserves my full attention. So usually one at a time, but it depends. If I'm, for example, building a YouTube guitar, I have to pay for myself, and the customer comes in, I might start working, give priority to a customer's guitar. But for that hasn't happened yet. Usually I find ways around that. Yeah. So guys, what's your plans for the weekend? I'm going to turn up the heater a bit. It's starting to get cold. Oh. I got annoyed by the resonance of the strings. I could hear them vibrating from my voice. So that's why I needed to move that guitar. Oh, coffee! Ja, dank u. Ja, dank u. Swatchen. Hoi. All right, back to the... Oh. Back to the workshop for you, Keener. Back on working on guitars. I need to make a family and a meal, just regular Christmassy stuff. have a meal with family, avoid a fight or an argument. Hi Stan T-Ford, haven't seen you yet in chat. Designing a new headstock, I have done a build. All right, all right. Oh, it's a bit of a design challenge then, Stan. Does the cold winter months impact how the wood behaves? Yeah, you have to keep temperatures in mind. I prefer the winter, to be honest. Less humid or less relative humidity, and it's. I don't like the heat, so I don't like working in the heat. And I don't store my timber, my woods, or my guitar parts in the shed. I always take my parts back into the house after I'm done working with it. So they don't stay in the shed for more than, let's say, 10 hours while I'm working on them. Then they go back into the house. So every guitar I make is usually conditioned, fairly well conditioned to a room temperature and to indoor environment. Guys, I'm smelling gas. One moment. I'm sorry. Whoa. One of the burners on my heater turned off, but it was still leaking gas, so I could smell a very pungent gas smell. But it's fixed now, hopefully. So yeah, that hopefully answered your question, Ross. I keep all my guitar, the timber I use on instruments indoors, so they're acclimated to indoor room temperature and room humidity environments. Christmas dinner also here, but I'm hoping over Christmas to dimension of my top, glue it. Oh yeah, dimensioning and getting tops ready. Well, usually it's a nice job to do. A couple of hours here and there. Only guitar work planned. Well, that's nice. Really nice. I like your new van. We will be eating lots of pigs in a blanket. All right. Yeah, and thank you, Stan, that you liked the new van. I'm very, very happy with the new car. Hi, Misadventures. Just finished for the year. Well deserved. Camping? In this weather, or do you have a very good caravan or mobile home misadventures? And sorry guys, I'm drinking coffee. All right, nice, hot end. Yeah, unfortunately, we were planning to go back to Scotland coming year in 2025, but yeah, we decided to give priority to guitar shows. So Scotland have to wait for another year, I'm afraid, but I love to go camping in Scotland again. With such fine details, do you have an image? Both, Ross. I usually start with a general design in mind and a general look I want to go for. But as with all plans, you have to adjust when you're working on it. Like with this guitar, I started with a flamed maple top with a very fine grain texture, very fine flames, and that's what I was looking for a very fine flame patterns, like an old fiddle back, very fine tiger stripes on the guitar. But when I made a mistake on that top and I had to scrap it and use another top, we ended up with the older top it has now, and it sort of turned out even better than what and even closer to what I envisioned than if I had used the flamed maple top. So although I changed a big portion of the look of the guitar by using a different type of wood with a different grain pattern and a different look and feel, it ended up closer to what I had envisioned, if that makes sense. So yeah, you usually start with a vision in mind, color hardware, types of hardware you're going to use, sometimes even color if you're going to stain it, or use lacquer if you're going to do a high gloss matte finish. Those things you have a relatively good idea, or at least I do have a relatively good idea of what I want to achieve. But of course, sometimes during building the guitar, things change and I might change my mind on occasion. So usually it's a bit of both. And of course, usually when I'm working on a custom guitar, on a bespoke guitar, then the client's input throughout the project has a big impact on what we're going to do with the guitar. Type of finish, neck shape, body carve, all those things are usually on client's request. Did I miss anything? I do get to change out some Gibson custom buckers. Are you going to change the entire pickups hot, or are you also replacing the magnet itself, or is it just a swap, one humbucker set for another? I prefer that the client is happy with the end result, Ross. That's the most important. Sometimes that means that I have less freedom and I have to somewhat adhere to what the customers wants, as long as it's in what I think makes a good guitar, makes a quality guitar, that it plays good, sounds good, looks good, and it has to be inside of my brand identity, if you know what I mean. I have a certain vision of what a good guitar should be, and have a specific design language and things I really don't want to do in a guitar. For example, I don't want to design or build a guitar that's shaped like a strawberry, or like a cloud, or like a star or something. It's shaped guitars, weird shaped guitars. It's not for me. And usually when a customer is looking for a specific type of guitar, they usually find the builder that naturally designs and builds those guitars. No, and I don't do copies. I don't remake Telecasters, Les Pauls. I don't do 100% copies, but like with the Phoenix guitar, you can clearly see where the inspiration comes from. It isn't an exact copy. It's clearly inspired by, but it's still, at least that's what I think when I'm looking at the guitar. You can still see it's a guitar designed and built by me, by Unquendor. It's still an Unquendor guitar. You can see the heritage, but you can see it's a modern twist on a familiar design. And same is with my Sonia guitar. That's basically a Nessa, an Unquendor Nessa. That's one of my original designs. A Telecaster and a Les Paul slammed together, and you get the Sonia. You can clearly see it has inspiration from both a Les Paul and a Tele, and a bit of the Nessa in it as well. And that's what I like to do. For some reason, I don't like companies that blindly copy stuff. Hi Dennis, Merry Christmas. Yeah, oh, and that's a build I also have planned, but I'm not sure how to do it. And I've been thinking about this for years now. Until Ibanez recently launched their version of a electric guitar with nylon strings. I've been a fan of Godin guitars for as long as I play guitar. I want to have an electric guitar with nylon strings, and I've been thinking about building one, and now Ibanez has one for the Tim Henson. I'm not sure what the model is called, but Tim Henson from that band. He has a signature model of that guitar, and that's something I really want to build. I really want to build a electric guitar with nylon strings. So yeah, and that's of course has to do with piezo's, maybe microphones inside the guitar, a lot of custom electronics. That's something I really want to do. Yeah, Ross, it can be hard these days to come up with a original design, a fully original design. And even if you make an original design, when you go and look on the big internet, you can most likely find someone who came up with the exact same design. I had this with my original headstock. I drawn it just on the back of a piece of paper. I've designed my headstock without looking at any other guitars, any other headstocks. I just designed what I thought was a good headstock, and as it turns out, Cord has a very similar headstock. And when I was at Crimson Guitars to do a course there, someone else was building a guitar with almost the exact same headstock, and we both looked at each other and, well, we both designed it from scratch and we came up with a similar headstock. And especially for headstocks, there are, without getting too crazy, only a few viable designs possible if you want to have, for example, a straight string pull. You can place your tuners only in a very narrow band of how do you call this in English? There's only so much options you have to set your tuners, for example, and then all the designs coming from there are going to end up somewhat similar. So it's hard, but I try to always start designing with a blank slate, just with a blank piece of paper, and just start sketching what I think would be a good design. And I don't look up any other guitar designs. If I happen to design a guitar similar than someone else's guitar, so be it. Sometimes I tweak it a bit, but J Custom have announced they are soon to release their version of the Trendstram. I would love to see you build a guitar. I'll have to look into that. It doesn't ring a bell for now. I'm sorry. I have to be honest, I rarely watch guitar building videos myself. Usually I'm building guitars, editing videos, taking photographs of guitars, and in my free time away from the shop, I like to get my mind off of guitars for a moment. Hi Hartsy, welcome, welcome. Oh, there's a double piece of wood. I get distracted quite easily, as you can see. Oh. So. Oh. Oh yeah, Polyphia, that was the band I was looking for. Now you got me curious, Stan. Tram. Oh, it's the that's the tremolo system used on the Steinbergers, the first headless guitars. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking it up. Unfortunately, I can't easily share my screen with you guys. For those wondering, I'm streaming from an iPad. So I can't share. It should be possible to share the screen from the iPad as well, but I haven't set it up, so. Yeah, I might look into maybe one day doing a headless. Okay, it sounds interesting. I have to look into the Trendstram tremolo system. That's also another thing I have in mind, is developing or bringing to market my own Floyd style tremolo, one that doesn't detune when you're tuning, or at least when you're tuning and you've tuned your low E string, and by the time you're at your high E string, that your low E string is flat again. I have a tremolo on one of my guitars that doesn't do that, and it isn't made anymore, and I couldn't find anyone holding patent for that design, so, but I can't find a manufacturer to do it for me. It's something that's on my mind. No, no, Ross. I've never been interested in building my own amp cabinet or casing or anything. Partly because my workshop isn't outfitted to do stuff like that easily. I found when making boxes and guitar cases, one of the tools, you don't need it, but what makes it very easy and time efficient is a table saw. And I don't have a table saw, I can't fit a table saw in my workshop, unfortunately. So things like boxes, cabinets, and guitar cases, amp cases and such is something I don't do at the moment because of the workshop. It would be too time consuming for me to do that. It may, and as a hobby, these days I have other hobbies. Building guitars is my hobby. Let's see. I'm going to read your question very carefully, Al. I talked here about a Nightmare custom guitar I had. I would like to ask you about a rework of it. Which is the best way to contact me to send pictures and such? Al, I would happy. Besides building custom guitars, I also do setups, repairs, reworks, as such. So also TLC for the guitars you already own. And if you want my advice or want to get in touch, the easiest way to do so is by sending me an email. You can send an email to info@unquendor-guitars.nl. My email address is in the video description of every video, or you can fill out the contact form on the website. That's www.unquendor-guitars.nl. So either via the website or via an email, you can send me your information and we get in touch. If needed, set up a video call, or you can come and visit me in person by appointment. But the easiest way to get in touch with me, for a business case, let's call it like that, is via email. Hi Norman. Did you... Yeah, I think you received my email, Norman, didn't you? Did I reply to your email today? Was it your email? Let's see, did I... Oh yeah, and congratulations on getting your degree, I think. Then you sent me an email, and I presume you managed to get your degree, so congratulations. Thank you, Ross. Thank you. Have a good couple of days. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's and all that good stuff. And see you in the new year. Thanks for joining the chat and watching the videos. Hey, got your 6 guitars. Merry Christmas. Phoenix with a Charlotte Ram. Yeah, well, the Phoenix with a Charlotte Ram. I was thinking about the Pantera with a Charlotte Ram. Phoenix with a Tram. Maybe. I have one fretboard, because during the series we made 2 fretboards, and I have one that's not quite finished, but there's still one. The Obsidian Ebony, the 3-dit wood from Canada. I have that fretboard still laying around. So yeah, we could do a Phoenix maybe, but not now. Not as the next project. The next project most likely will be a Nessa with a hardtail, so a hip shot hardtail bridge, and a natural wood Nessa, so no stains, no coloring, just plain wood, most likely a black limba body, and I still have a spalted maple, I think it's spalted maple or spalted tulip wood top that I want to use, and I have a lot of quilted tops laying around, so I might do a scraps or leftovers guitar build, a Nessa with all kinds of hardware and wood and parts that I have laying around. That might be interesting, and maybe do a community build, so vote for the body, vote for the top, vote for the fretboard, and maybe do a community build, something like that. So you guys get to choose what I'm going to use for that guitar. Hard C 7-string, not very likely yet. 7-string, if commissioned, I will gladly build a 7-string. But I think, at least here in the Netherlands, the custom metal guitar scene is a bit crowded at the moment. A lot of guys building metal guitars, and that's something I try to steer away from a bit. I want to be more broad as a guitar builder and not be associated only with the heavy metal scene. And that said, the guitars I'm building right now, and I don't sell, are guitars I have to keep for myself. And I'm not a 7-string player. I have no ambitions to play 7 strings, to be honest. So, yeah, not likely, unless commissioned. Got your 6 guitars. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a stunning guitar, and guys, I'm not exaggerating. Not because I made it myself. I think it might be the best guitar I built yet when it comes to playability. It's such a wonderful guitar to play. It sits a bit different than, because it's longer, it's a bit getting used to the length of the body. But when it comes to playability on the neck, it's amazing. And because it sits a bit farther forward, you can very easily, when practicing, reach the highest frets without your leg interfering with your hands or something like that. So yeah, it's a really a player's guitar. And as a bonus, it looks great as well. Barry, Merry Christmas. Stanley, yeah, only 6 fingers. I've got 10. I'm lucky I still have my 10 fingers. Hollow body arch top. That's not my cup of tea. We just talked about, I like to do a nylon string electric. So that you need to get at least a semi-hollow body. Arch tops are not really my thing. Hey, Owen is back. Or hasn't left yet. So, what? Guys, you have to excuse me for a moment. I think my heater just stopped. Yeah, they do exist, Harji. Ibanez just made one. And let's see, I think I have a bookmark. Somewhere around here. Oh, come on. Yeah, and the Cordoba stage guitar is also a electric with nylon strings. Yeah, they do exist, and of course Godin has one. I think that's one of the originals. Yeah, they do exist, and I've been dreaming about one for as long as I'm playing guitars. I recently saw a Godin in a store, and I was thinking about purchasing it, and then I thought, well, why would I purchase a guitar? I'm a guitar builder, let's make one. And then I started researching, and yeah, a lot of the electronics is hard to come by for small builders. Most of that stuff, for example, the Ibanez one, has electronics in them from Fishman. It's Fishman Electronics, but Fishman doesn't sell that package as a separate item. It's all, how it's called, OEM. So it's specially made for a specific brand, like the sliders on a Godin guitar. You can't buy them. You have to either make them yourself or order a lot or pay a lot. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, how I'm going to go about it. So how to, the piezo element, the piezo isn't a problem. The piezo pickup and the microphone type pickups, I'm not sure what they're called in English, that you can stick on the inside of the guitar. Those are fairly easy to come by, but then a lot of the stuff you can get is either to build into a acoustic guitar, so the electronics has that big black box you can route into the side of an acoustic, but it's too big to fit into an electric guitar. And I haven't found any slim solutions yet, so what I might end up doing is ordering the set I need and then rebuild it, repurpose it to my needs. So maybe it's a build I'm thinking about for coming year. Yeah, I will. I will have to take a look. A nylon string Nessa. Yeah, maybe, but no, I don't think a Nessa. I think maybe the Sonia, or maybe just an entirely new model, especially for the nylon string. And what I wanted as an option that no one has is a bridge where you can set the intonation, instead of having just a rigid bridge like on most acoustics. I want to have a hardtail bridge you can adjust, so you can set the intonation perfect. And then of course, like the Ibanez, because that's a feature the Ibanez has, is it has the same nut width and same dimensions of a regular guitar, of a regular electric guitar neck. So anyone who can play the electric can play that nylon string, because usually, of course, nylon strings have a flat fretboard, very wide neck, very wide nut, and it takes used to get to play in a nylon guitar, a classic or a Spanish guitar. So yeah, I'm in my head. There's a plan brewing, a design brewing for that guitar, but we have to see if I can get around of building one this year with all the shows I'm going to do. Fender, I'm going to look up the Yngwie Malmsteen one. That's a good reference. I have to keep that in mind. Scar my guitar. All right. Digital things. It's a bit late now, but I'm very close to purchasing a laser cutter engraver. Something is keeping me back, and that's funding for one. Because if I'm going to buy a laser engraver cutter, I'm going to buy one that's suitable to do the things I want to do. But yeah, I'm very close to taking the plunge and purchasing a laser engraver, laser cutter, so I can also, for you guys, make some of my templates available. Routing templates for, it's highly requested, my 3-step Floyd Rose routing system. I made mine by hand, and it's a lot of work, and I think I can very easily use a laser to cut them out and make them available for you guys. Do custom templates for anyone interested, so I can design and cut and ship the templates for anyone who wants certain templates for their own guitar builds and things like that. But yeah, it is a big investment, and it has been a yeah, maybe not the best to do right now. We had some other expenses, unexpected expenses, like my new car. Although I'm very happy with that car. Yeah, we had to unforeseen. We had to get a new car to get around, and that took a bit of the budget, a bite out of the budget for a laser cutter. And also attending the Guitar Summit coming September is also something. It's not cheap to attend as an exhibitioner from abroad. But I'm thinking about it, and of course, Owen, your contribution just now will help with that. Adjustable bridge, yeah. Did better, Owen. Oh, sorry to hear that, Barry. A tele nylon guitar with a trem. Yeah, that's too weird, and I think you have major tuning stability issues. I have to yet. Oh, happy holidays, Norman. It was a bit of a read. Do you fancy having a go at an acoustic? Yeah, Andy, yeah, but not in this workshop, and we've talked about this quite often in the live streams. I really want to build an acoustic, but I think what I would like to do, but it will not be this year, but maybe next year, is to go and do a course. We have a great guitar building school here in the Netherlands. And maybe see if I can go and do a acoustic guitar building course there and make a YouTube video out of that course. So document the entire course, maybe live, maybe semi-live or in a video format while I'm doing the course building a acoustic guitar. But there's a lot of planning ahead, and everyone has to agree that I'm going to film there and such, and I have to make time to go there, but I have aspirations to build an acoustic guitar, and I would love to do a course somewhere to build an acoustic guitar and document the entire process for you guys. That's a bit of a Frankenstein, Owen. An Ibanez copy with a Variax implanted in it, and a Floyd Rose copy that has piezos in it. Yeah, I think Groftech, well known for the, of course, for the wonderful nuts they do. They also make saddles with piezos inserted saddles for different bridge types, and I believe they also do Floyd Rose saddles with piezo crystals in it. Oh, that's a nice fix, Owen. The biggest electronics cavity I've ever seen. Oh, have you seen the Dutch brand, the Aristoteles guitars, with the big, massive cavity at the back of the guitars? Almost the entire back of the guitar is a cover plate for everything that happens inside those guitars. Wonderful guitars, wonderful guys, but that's a massive cavity. Yeah, Andy, I'm sure I could do it when it comes to skills, but building acoustics also requires some specialized tools I don't have, and I don't have room to both invest in and to store them. Size benders, for example, sanding discs to sand the radius in the sides and in the top and such. A place to glue up all the bracings and such. It requires almost an entirely different workshop, as far as I've seen. At least I have to dedicate a new section or a section of the workshop to stuff for acoustics, and unfortunately I'm already running out of space as it is today. So that's another reason why I would like to build an acoustic in someone else's workshop. And I think building an acoustic, there's much more to it than to an electric. There's even more focus on specific details to make it a good guitar. What's my ultimate guitar build? For now, I think what would be my ultimate guitar build is that nylon string we were talking about. And what I've done up to today is either the Firebird, because the playability on that guitar is amazing. It's such an amazing guitar, and I'm not just saying because I built it myself. It really is a fantastic playing guitar. And the other guitar I'm most proud of, just the Pantera Tribute. That's an amazing guitar. I'm so happy with the curved body and such. Yeah, guys, the longer I think about it, it's like picking your favorite child. You always tell the one that's asking you the question that he or she is the most important and the most loved one, but you can't pick. Every guitar has something special. Even the first one I built, because it's the first one. It's not really a terrible guitar, but it's not a guitar I would happily put in someone's hand. But it's still a special guitar because it was the first one I built. No, I can't say. When it comes to building, just pure skill-wise, I think the Pantera. There was a lot of different steps and a lot of tricky things involved with getting the curved body, getting the cavities in the correct orientation in relation to that curve. Yeah, I think that was the most difficult one I built. Yeah, Andy. Yeah. I know I could, but it's yeah. When it comes to acoustics, I have yeah. I know what I want with acoustics. When it comes to acoustics, I want to be absolutely 100% sure what I'm doing, why I'm doing certain things. That's how I learn. It's not how, but the why is how I learn stuff. It's not really monkey sees, monkey does. I need to know why something is done, or something needs to be done, and then I can figure out a technique to get to that required result. Yeah. Yeah, it's messing up, and I think that's also the difference with me running this channel. I love running this channel, but it also means that I have less time for experimenting and such, because I want to create videos, I want to do live streams, and it's not that I'm afraid of messing up on camera, but yeah, I want to keep making quality content, and if it takes me, I don't know, a couple of weeks, couple of months, and a lot of effort, so to say, in trying stuff out, it's time I can't make videos. I think I messed that up. I lost the train of thoughts halfway through. Oh, thanks, Andy. Yeah, it's something. It's hard to do, but I think it's honest. It's honest. We all make mistakes, and why not show them? And it's an honest story, and if that means if I make a mistake, and like I said, I have to, like with the Phoenix, I had to redo the finish, so that took me another 3 weeks. But I'm honest enough to say, guys, I messed up. I'm going to fix it, but please excuse me. There won't be a video for the next coming 3 weeks because I had to fix this mistake. Of course, it's hard to film the process of fixing the mistake sometimes. Sometimes I'm really bummed out and I just want to fix the mistake and get it as perfect as I can without having to worry. Also, on top of fixing the mistake, I also have to worry about camera placement, angles, lighting, of what I want to say, because I spent most of my time doing retakes of me explaining stuff because of the language, and I'm losing my train of thought sometimes. So then, yeah, after making a mistake during the fix, I need all my brain capacity to fix the mistake. And what I like to do then is just put on some music, put on a podcast or something, and just focus on fixing the mistake, like I said, without having to worry about a camera. And that's also the reason why I don't experiment as much on camera, because I can't do those two things at the same time, and experimenting and trying to get everything good while under pressure of pointing a camera at myself. It takes courage. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, Owen. Yeah, Owen. That's what it is, and that's why I use the video format I use. I like to show everything. Don't hide stuff. Don't miss steps. I often see tutorials and you can clearly see, well, you did something in between those two steps you're just explaining. What did you do right there? Why didn't you show that crucial step? So that's one thing I like to show everything in my videos, and that includes making the mistakes, just to let everyone know. Everyone makes mistakes. It's how we handle mistakes. And for me personally, it's not easy to deal with my mistakes. But I'm learning, as shown in the Phoenix series. That's what the Phoenix series was all about. But I think it's important to let everyone know all the steps, including the mistakes. that the main difference between a hobbyist and a professional is the way we handle mistakes and the outcome of those mistakes. It's the end result that counts. It's unlike a journey where the journey counts before destination. With guitar building or with any craft, it's the destination that counts and not the journey. Yeah, Barry, I do understand the educational value of experimenting, and we did a lot of experimentation with the Phoenix build. Of course, trying to make my own veneer, that didn't work. Trying to stain my own binding and such, that didn't work. But that what took a toll on me, to be honest. That you put so much time and effort in something and it didn't work. It's something I have to learn to do, experimenting. I'm also someone who can't practice, for example. I can't practice guitar playing every time I'm playing, and it isn't great after 1 or 2 tries. I tend to lose interest very quick, and one thing I don't want to lose interest in is guitar building. So it's I'm walking a thin line sometimes, to be honest, but we're hanging in here. So, but that's the reason why experimenting for me is a bit difficult, and especially having the added pressure of the camera edit, because you're not only trying to experiment with the thing you're physically building. That's one thing your mind is occupied with, but you're also trying to create the best content possible. So you constantly worried about camera placement, like I said. Am I recording? Is my sound quality good enough? Where's the lighting? And it takes a bit of the joy out of the experimenting, and that's why, at least I'm always hesitant to film all my experiments. Long answer to a relatively simple question, but yeah, these streams are to give you guys an insight in both the workshop and maybe in me as a person as well. Yeah, Andy, it was. It's something I'm working with the supplier. I think you needed more cans than what I started with, or don't send in between coats. Hi Drishy Guitars, welcome. Yeah, Barry, it's hard. I found a way how to do it, and you really need I tried the vacuum bags, but you really need a vacuum chamber. That's how I saw everyone does it. Get a vacuum pump, get a vacuum chamber, and that's the way to stain wood all the way through. Yeah, of course, every build, Danish, you're right, every build is a form of practice, is a bit of an experiment. The Phoenix was an experiment, but I didn't look at it as an experiment because I had a clear idea what to do, how to do it, and it was just a matter of executing it correctly. Yeah, me too, Barry. I ended up buying the orange. I'm sorry, guys. I also ended up buying my own veneer. Great Christmas, Stan T. Ford. Thank you for joining, and see you maybe in the new year. Have a good one. Oh, Finally my heater is working. Oh. Are there any more topics you guys like me to talk about? Any questions? Is there anything I want to talk about? Not really. We talked about the Christmas. Most of you guys are enjoying dinner with families. Lacquer or oil finish? I used to say oil finish, a natural oil finish. It still has my preference, but it might have to do that I'm not good enough at working with lacquer. My experience is not sufficient enough, because I really like the result of a lacquer finish, that high gloss. It's so satisfying when you start buffing the lacquer and you see that high gloss appearing. That's satisfying. For anyone in a small shop, I will advise use oil finishes to start off with. It's so much easier, it's more forgiving. So my personal preference might be oil. Still, if I had to choose, either always lacquer my guitars with a high gloss lacquer or always use oil, I would choose oil. If I had to choose between the two and never use another product again, I would choose oil. Alright, Owen, thank you very much again for your contribution, for your continuous support. Have a great Christmas, Happy New Year, and say hi to your wife, and hope to talk to you again in 2025, Owen. Thank you. Have a good one. I will check, L. Is it L or is it AI? I know in just a couple of seconds, I think. I know your full name now. And yeah, it's a very long email, so I'm going to read it tomorrow, if you don't mind. I'm going to mark it so I won't forget, but I have some customers coming in tomorrow, and it's Christmas. Is it Christmas Eve tomorrow? Yeah, it's Christmas Eve tomorrow. So I hope you don't mind, L. I now know it's L because I've read your full name, but I'm not going to mention it unless you allow me to. I've received your email. I'm going to try and read it tomorrow in between some customers. I might get back to you tomorrow, or I might get back to you after Christmas. And we have 2 Christmas days here, so it's Wednesday, Thursday is Christmas. So I'll try to get back to you on Friday or Saturday. I'm going to try to do my best to get back to you tomorrow, but it might be after Christmas, if you don't mind, L. But I've received your email, and I'm going to look into it. But if I start reading now, I know myself, and I want to read the entire email, and I'm not going to do that. Barry, have a good one. Cheers. Great Christmas. And Happy New Year's. Thank you, Hel. Thank you. Hartsy, It will be difficult, but I try. So I have the Ibanez. Yeah, it's fixable, hard G. As a matter of fact, there is an older video on my channel where I fix a loose, the loose mounting studs, the mounting posts of a Floyd. So it is fixable. There are several solutions, from very severe, very impactful solutions to minor repairs. If it's just the insert that's starting to loosen and there are no cracks in the wood, it's an easy fix. You can even use a bit of wood glue to just fix it in place. To some other more severe solutions, like gluing in a dowel, for example. Glue in a dowel in an existing hole, let it cure, re-drill the hole, and fix the mounting stud in place like so. But it depends if it's a studded, a threaded insert that's in your guitar body, or if the post is just screwed directly into the wood. There are several options. Yeah, but I first recommend checking out a video I have on my channel if you want to try to if you want to give it a go yourself. And otherwise, yeah, you can always contact me and we'll and I'll help you from there. Like with Al, just send me some pictures, send me an email, and we'll see what I can do. Yeah, Dennis, thank you for noticing. Yeah, that's something I always do. I always try to clean my workshop every day. So every evening I make sure the workshop is nice and tidy. So when I get back the next day, I can go straight to work and without being annoyed by the mess. And usually, even throughout the day, I regularly sweep the floor and make sure I clean all my tools. When my tools start to gather everywhere, I usually stop, put everything back where it belongs. Although I know I'm going to use it within the next couple of minutes, I still put it away, make sure everything is nice and clean, and start from there. It keeps accidents from happening, both to myself by tripping over a tool or tripping over dirt on the floor or slipping or sliding, or stuff falling on a very expensive guitar that's on my bench, or accidentally having a screw, for example, sitting on the bench and you accidentally put your freshly lacquered guitar on top of that tiny screw. It happens more often than you think. So yeah, I try to keep my workshop as clean as possible. It's a much better working environment, both physically as mentally, and it's also better for your tools, cleaning your tools, setting up your band, so make sure all the surfaces are dry and dust free and have their coat of wax once in a while. Really makes your tools last way and way longer. Hot, also thank you very much for your support. Looking forward to seeing you next year. Have a nice Christmas, Happy New Year's, and see you in 2025. And again, thank you for the support. Yeah, it can be a problem with some guitars. Usually it's the amount of material left in between the posts and where the bridge pickup is situated. On some guitars it's so a very thin wall of timber left that the posts easily break out. And also it depends on the string gauge you're using. If you're using very thick strings, they might give in easier also. Is it just me, or am I struggling with English today? Holy shit. And I'm starting to fidget. Thoughts on single coil pickups. Yeah, up until recently I didn't like the sound of single coils. I couldn't stand it. That's it. So I always played humbuckers myself, and all my guitars have always been humbucker guitars. Because I didn't like the sound of single coils, and of course most of the time I played in metal bands, so humbuckers were the obvious choice most of the time. So for my personal guitar, so naturally when I started building guitars, my first choice was to use humbuckers. But now that the Fishman pickups are a common in my guitars, I always use Fishman pickups, and their single coil voicing, I'm not going to call it a coil split or coil tap, because it isn't coil split, it isn't coil tap on Fishman pickups. It's really a voicing, like they call it, and their single coil voicing is amazing, and especially on their classics and their Tosin Abasi signature, I'm starting to like the single coil voicing of the pickups more and more. And now when I'm listening to more music that's less metal, so I'm starting to listen to more folky music, to more blues and more single coil types of or types of music that uses more single coils, I'm starting to get into the sound of single coils. But it's a taste thing, I think. I didn't like the single coils that much, and maybe also, and this is going to maybe create a bit of some discussion, maybe later on in the comment section, the technical aspect of a single coil. A humbucker is by design, because it bucks the hum, it cancels out the hum, essentially, in my opinion, maybe a better design, or at least an improvement on the single coil. That's why set lovers made them, to cancel out the inherent problem of a single coil. So those two reasons, but mostly because my taste of music was more into the humbuckers. So and now of course with the Fishmans, I have both humbuckers, 2 sets of humbuckers and 1 set of single coils in every guitar. 3 voicings, 3 different guitars all in one. Who's to complain? Oh yeah, 7 string, yeah, and Floyd. That's that can be a bit strenuous on the studs, if the construction, especially if they've used a softer body wood. For example, if your guitar is made of basswood, very soft wood, and maybe without a real top, without a maple top for some stability, yeah, then they will, over time, the studs will loosen themselves. English is fine, alright, thank you. Alright, yeah, no problems, got your 6 guitars. I tend to over-explain myself maybe, but that's fine. So guys, what do you say? Let's go for another 10-11 minutes. And then it's 9:30 here, and I'm expecting my wife back. So maybe we can go watch a movie together. Yeah, basswood, yeah. If it's a basswood body and with maybe not even a real top, or maybe a very thin veneer top and not a full 6 to 8 millimeters maple. A 7 string on a Floyd. That might be the reason why the mounting studs are loosening themselves. But it's fixable. Did I? Oh no. Yeah, I've seen them, I think. Tone claw. Tone claw. Oh yeah, that's to attach the strings. The springs in the cavity underneath. Yeah, for the spring attachment, yeah. I think... Is it Charler that sells a similar system? Nice. I'm really going to try and figure out how I can share a browser screen in chat or in the stream, so I don't have to look it up on my phone. I can look it up with you guys and we can discuss maybe things on the internet, maybe do some reviews on videos. That might be a great. Do live reaction on your building videos. Don't tell anyone. How difficult is it to pronounce the TH in English? I have noticed you have been saying... How do you mean, Stanley? There? It's not that hard, but I'm not sure what you mean. Is the pronunciation? I'm always worried about my grammar. More so than my pronunciation. Oh yeah, it's way nicer. Yeah, the tone claw, I agree. It looks nice. More finished, especially when you... I don't know why people would do it. The open cavities on the back on a lot of guitars. No cover plate over the tremolo springs. It's a dust gathering... I don't know, but... Especially when you leave the back of your guitar open. I think that's a good addition to have. I'm still not sure, Stanley, I'm sorry. I didn't change from EMG to Fishman. I used EMGs on 2 guitars on customer's request. I started using, what's that brand called? It's English. Iron Gear. I started with Iron Gear pickups. Very affordable, very good price to quality pickups, humbuckers, and single coils. They have everything. So Iron Gear pickups. I really love those. Until it became harder to get them here in Europe. After Brexit, it was hard, and quite early on I started using Fishmans. When I saw Fishman pickups, the capabilities of Fishmans, I started experimenting with Fishman pickups, or started using Fishman pickups, and slowly but surely When my guitars got better, I started using better and better hardware and electronics, so I made the switch entirely to Fishman, and I only used EMGs on 2 customer builds on request. Yeah, I think so too. That might be the only reason, and that's why I always get custom sustainer blocks or smaller, lower profile sustain blocks. Yeah, Tireman, you should. It's a it's a bit of an investment, and of course, Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Tireman. It is an investment. They're not cheap pickups, but if you can give them a go, maybe go to a guitar store and give them a try. On the guitar they have hanging around, just to get a feel and get a listen to the capabilities of the Fishman. I can highly, and I'm not endorsed in any way, and but I can really, I really like their technology and the capabilities of the pickups. I'm really a fan of the capabilities and the technology and the product than I am of the brand, so to say. EMG is also trying something similar with different voicings in a single pickups with the TW series. I used them on like I said, on a customer's build. Very nice pickups indeed, but the downside is they're very, very thick. They're almost 30 mils thick. So if you have a very slim body or you have a guitar with a tremolo, you have to really take care not to route into both cavities because of the thickness of those pickups. But as soon as they manage to get a similar profile to a regular humbucker, and they match the capability of Fishman, I'm open to give EMG a try. But for now, yeah, Fishman, great product. So guys, happy Christmas, Super Maria 1. Did I pronounce it correctly? Super. Got your 6 guitars snow for Christmas in the Netherlands this year? No, not likely. Not likely. Oh, Hartsy, that's I've used the GH set on a customer's build, and I must say, yeah, he loved it. Of course, he specifically asked for the GH set, but he's in a Metallica tribute band, so he was really looking for the James Hetfield sound. Yeah, it's a distinct sound, of course. It's very recognizable as the James Hetfield sound, especially in the cleans. So it's maybe an acquired taste, but performance-wise, yeah, I think if you're looking for a James Hetfield sound, they're the pickups to go. Of course, there is signature sets, but yeah, I like those pickups. I'm not familiar with those specifically. Of course, I know of Marty Friedman, but I don't have any hands-on experience with them. But I believe you. He has great tone, of course. I'm not sure if there are any real rubbish pickups these days. Oh, yeah, I think they're just available on their website, isn't it? That's what I love about EMG. You can order directly from EMG. No matter if you're ordering 100 set of pickups or just one, you can just order directly from EMG. Even with custom options. And they have very good, at least from my experience, the times I have been in contact with their customer support. Great customer support. I ordered those special pickups, the TW series with voice switching, and they even sent me an email after a couple of weeks how the installation went, if everything was to my expectations, if everything went well. Yeah, and I've never worked with a company that sent me an email if everything went how I expected it to, and how I found the pickups. Real surprising, good service for their part, from their part side. I don't know. Did I miss anything? No. So guys, getting ready for Christmas. Looking forward to it. And then maybe after Christmas, get a case done for the Phoenix. I still need to do a case. And I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video about making that case, because it's a bit of an experiment. And we now all know how I feel about shooting and filming my experiments. But who knows? And then prepare for the next build. And yeah, alright, got your 6 guitars. Thank you very much for joining, for all your questions. Have a good one, have nice holidays, Merry Christmas and a good New Year. And hope to see you in 2025. Take care and bye bye. Yeah, I think we're going to, the questions are drying up, so to say, hopefully. I'm getting tired a bit. And yeah, just a quick question. Would you guys like to see, for example, a voting system on the next build? Maybe model, materials, wood, or get a choice in what woods to use, and that you can pick the body wood, neck wood, top, fretboard and such. Is it something you would like to see me do, or you like to see me at least build a guitar? Corina through neck. And no, not yet a through neck, because I still have some neck blanks in stock. I mentioned this earlier during this stream and during the chat. I have some bodies left over, some neck blanks left over. I have a lot of hardware in stock, and I thought, well, it would be nice if I piled everything up and you guys can choose, oh, let's use this neck, this body, this top, this fretboard, that hardware, and let's make a guitar out of that. Yeah, it might be a challenge, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Danis. Love the community you're building. Yeah, me too, and hopefully we can expand that community. It's a bit necessary, to be honest, to expand the community a bit, to keep the channel alive. So that's also something I'm working on. Come up with ideas to keep the channel going for another year. So that's unfortunately hard. Although I'm open to do challenges, it's not feasible for me right now. I can't do challenge builds. I can't do time builds. It has to be feasible projects that are either commissioned or sellable. I'm always honest on this channel, and that's the truth. I need to start selling guitars this year, and otherwise, it's going to be real challenging to keep doing what I'm doing right now, both here on YouTube and with guitar building, and then I have to revert back to it just being a hobby. So that's the state we're in, and I wanted to keep this positive, and it's a positive. It's going to be a great year, but there are some truths I'm not going to sweep under the carpet, so to say. And whenever it comes up, I'm just going to say how it is, and hopefully you guys understand. All right, Harji. Yeah. I thought you were joking, but I understand. But it's something I can't. Like I said, I can't sweep it under the rug and pretend it doesn't exist, because it does. But we're working on it. I'm going to attend shows. I'm going to try and up my game here on YouTube, coming up with great projects, great builds, great things for the community to participate in. And like I said, hopefully we can grow the community in the coming year even further. And I'm honest to say that I'm very, very blessed and very pleased with the community we have so far. All you guys, all the regulars I see in chat, both during the premieres and during these live streams, I'm really appreciate the support, and there's hardly any negative comments or anything like that. So there are channels and there are places on the internet where it's totally different. So we're blessed with the community we have, and let's hope and let's try to keep it that way. Let's try to stay positive. Let's try to help each other and all the good stuff. So yeah, guys, I think I'm done. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, if there are no more questions, we're going to end it right here. I'm going to have a nice Christmas, just like you guys. I hope you all enjoy the next couple of days. Have a drink, have something to eat. Enjoy your time with your loved ones and your family, and let's make it yeah, a great 2025. Let's I'm getting a bit emotional, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, let's make it the best. Let's enjoy the couple of days. Have a good Christmas. Have a happy New Year's, and I hope to see you all in the next year, guys. But as always, until then, take care and bye-bye. And I leave the chat open for a couple more minutes so you guys can wish each other all the best. And like I said, I hope to see you in the New Year's. As always, bye-bye, guys. And take care.